Speaking of which, I mean, I wanted to ask, like, Adventure, the premiere or the trailer for this upcoming season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, okay, I know they're busy looking for a Bond, but Bravo's got one. Do you think there'll ever be a time where we get to see way more of the captain?
I like where you're going with it. The thing is I take my job really serious, and there are times when there are more adventurous things for me to partake in, but maybe the
Uh-huh.
weather isn't right. So in Below Deck Adventure, towards the end of the season, we had guests get in a helicopter and go up to a mountain, and they abseiled down. So
Uh-huh.
I was supposed to be part of that. I was supposed to be in the helicopter. I was supposed to be going up because I love aviation. I There's
Yeah.
not too many things I don't do.
Okay.
Abseiling is probably the most one of the most boring things I do adventure wise, which is exciting, especially off a cliff face and in the rain.
Yeah.
But on that particular day, the wind was so strong, I didn't want to leave the yacht because
Okay.
all I could see is like I'm in the helicopter and then the yacht's dragging.
Just gone. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got a first officer who's trained and so forth, but for the sake of the shot, I'm not going to go. I want to do it like all season. I wanted to do one of these adventures.
Yeah.
I wanted paragliding so bad. And I couldn't do that, and I want to do this, and I couldn't. I mean, I want to be out there as much as I can because
Uh-huh.
also when I'm on the ground with the guests, I can really fine tune the crew to give the guests an incredible experience.
Right.
Um, I'm trained as a dive master. The season upcoming, I really wanted to get in the water. I really want to scuba dive with the guests. And unfortunately, again, weather got in the way. It's gonna be fun how they may show that because we were in a smaller boat in massive seas, and I'm driving the boat
Uh-huh.
trying to get there, and I had to turn around. So we'll see what happens with that. Probably one of the biggest adventures I had in St. Martin was getting through that bridge. That bridge, I've only got a couple of meters either side of me, a 60-meter boat through, and the bridge is not straight. It's like this. I've got to come up, and then I've got to turn, but not allow the back of the boat to hit the rocks as it comes through. I'm learning to get my own private pilot license, and I'm enjoying that. And I think it'd be pretty cool at once I get my fixed wing and then move on to a helicopter. I think it'd be absolutely epic if I fly the guests in one day. Fly the guests in one.
100%. I'm telling you, I'm living for that moment. I literally want to see the moment where, Captain Kerry comes in, like again, jet skis, fireworks, explosions,
Mhm.
lands, gets on the ship, heads out. All of a sudden, guests are saying, right, we've only got one day. You're like, don't worry, mate, got you. Boom,
Yes.
helicopter there. Then you get on the plane takes off. You're like, guys, listen, we're not going to make it back in time if we land this thing. Anyone up for just parachuting out? Yeah, cool, done. Okay, but we're all in agreement. There was something that went wrong. Insurance, we all good? Great, fine, done. Skydive out of there, land there. How was your day? Oh, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Like, do you need a welcome drink? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just shaking. They're like, yeah, I need my drink. Thanks, thanks, thanks. Come on. He can go scuba diving. Let's see what happens if the captain's BCD breaks off in the middle of a dive or something. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? But now, so tell me, scuba diving. So you're from Australia. Yeah, so we've established that. I can imagine in Australia there are some incredible dive sites other than the Great Barrier Reef,
Mhm.
right? So I mean, where is your favorite? And if it is the Great Barrier Reef, pick another one.
But there is this dive site. I actually used to captain dive boats in Australia, and it's called the Yongala Wreck, and it's south of Townsville, and it's this old steamship that went down in a cyclone in the early 90s or late 1800s, and it's on its side like this. So this would be the hull, and this would
Uh-huh.
be the deck. So this entire hull is just full of soft corals, totally totally covered in soft corals. And then the
Uh-huh.
marine life is absolutely incredible there. The visibility can be pretty good, but often 20, 30 feet off the wreck, it's very hard to see. And out there,
Okay.
the mist is where all the bull sharks are hanging out.
I
Um,
was about to say, we're talking about Australia and not one
yeah,
thing's come up yet that could kill you. But like, oh, we're getting a shark coming in? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then and then at night time, the night dives are unbelievable. Before I jump to the night dive on the day dive, so I'd be captaining the boat and I'd be helping the dive instructors with the students. And sometimes
Uh-huh.
we had students who couldn't keep up, but the
Okay.
keep moving. So they would normally
Yeah.
let the boat, and that's, stiff for them. But I would get involved. I would help them on the back of the boat, on the duck board, get them used to breathing. And then eventually I would take them down myself on these dives.
It's really actually almost unheard of that the captain will actually have the compassion to be like, listen, what's up? What went wrong? And actually give a damn about the person. That you kind of just were like, yeah, I can, you know. So I
Yeah.
did all of that and carried like that's actually a really unheard of thing for someone to do because usually it's like, okay, cool, get on with life.
No, good point. I mean, for me, right, you've come across the world. This is your dream. This is your one
Yeah.
time, right? And
Yeah.
imagine you've come across from Germany, and here you are, these tropical waters, and that's what you've always wanted, and you're spooked when your head's underwater and you're breathing, you get spooked, and you
Yeah.
miss it, right? And I'm like, I want you to have all this fun, right? I really want you to
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. So for me, it wasn't even a consideration, right? But yeah, so the night dives were very hard to do because it's very exposed. And I would normally anchor the boat I was on. We'd do I think it was like a 4-day, 3-night trip. And we'd start out in the Great
Wow.
Barrier Reef. We'd do a couple of different dive sites over the following days. And then on the final night, we'd be on the Great Barrier Reef. And then early in the morning, we would leave to the Ongala wreck. And then we'd only be there during the day. And then we head back to Townsville. But if the weather was amazing, and remember, there was no cell phones to check the weather. It was just the radio.
Yep.
There's no Garmin. It didn't exist.
Okay, that gives me heart palpitations, but I'll die without my garment. But yeah, okay.
We would leave the reef system, which is there's no markers, right? There's no island, no. So we put milk bottles or sodium sticks to mark the reef points to get out of that night time. And I would do this for the punters. We'd get out of there and we'd head out to the dive site that's fully exposed. So the weather changed would be
You're done.
up without a paddle. But you really had to really be sure. And if it was dead flat, we'd go anchor out there and we'd send the guests down on a night dive, and I couldn't resist it myself. And so I would shut the boat down, turn the generator off, and then I would go down, and you'd have you're going down, you're slowly going down on a descent line, and you'd have all these eagle rays, and they'd be
wow,
like this, right? So you're coming down on your descent, and then these eagle rays are cruising past through flying saucers. And they're just kind of
that must be one of the most beautiful and cool things to see.
Absolutely amazing. Now, let me tell you the terrifying part. Other than the bull sharks being out there, but the great thing about a night dive is you can't see everything. So you just have to enjoy that one little spot that you're staring at.
Yeah, and their eyesight is so good to begin with.
Not knowing is good sometimes, right? Is on the ascent, when you're doing your safety stop, massive barracuda.
The scariest thing I ever encountered during a dive in Tortola was I was doing, I think it was the RMS or RM8 Roan. And this was a singular barracuda. He's a big one.
Yeah.
And, you see those teeth and you're just like, whoop. You're like, okay, this is fun. Strength in number, guys. And you're looking for your buddy. Your buddy's busy, looking at something that's still part of the wreck. You get to the top of the surface. You're just thankful to be alive. Your buddy is just so happy. He's like, wow, life is so beautiful. Everything's amazing. And you're like, did you not see the barracuda? Barracuda? Where? So the barracuda was just there?
Well, so because it's a lot of current, a lot of current in the dive.
Right.
You're really careful. But yeah, so you're on the ascent, right? You're on your safety stop and you're hanging out there. And two things, the barracuda, and it would just sit right here in your peripherals, like that.
Jeez, they're menacing. Yeah.
Teeth like my thumb, right? And you're like, is my chain off? Did I take my, because you got a big lure glittering near you. So you're high alert because he's just, they're smiling, these big teeth right beside you. Really...
They are petrifying. Yeah.
and then from nowhere, mate, you get hit in the guts. And it's the turtles. The turtles would come and ram you at night on the safety stop. So you turn your lights off so that you don't get the turtles coming and hitting you. And then you kind of see the moonlight, and then the barracudas seem even closer, all right?
Oh, well, no, I would, because, what's it like? The number one rule other than dive with someone is, don't panic. And anytime you can put me at 42 meters. I don't know what that is in freedom units, maybe 130 something, you know.
That's love it.
But when you put like a barracuda, a singular barracuda, it's like, what? Sharks love them. Told you, they're like like warm and fuzzies, you know? They're fantastic. But a barracuda, that thing is it just stalks you and it just looks menacing. How do we go from, Kerry is in Australia growing up. What's the journey from there to suddenly I'm on one of America's largest, reality TV series and shows on the Bravo network and being a captain of a boat?